You are here because life feels fine. But you are done with fine. You know you are made for more. And you've asked, is this it? Too many times now. This isn't just another episode. This is your permission slip to turn fine back into fire. We're Charlotte and Kat, coaches through and through, but more importantly, real women who've been there. We help women come home to themselves and create a life that feels exciting, energizing, and completely their own again. Around here, we get real conversations, real stories, and real transformations from the women in our community who dared to go all in. If you're ready to stop existing, to stop settling for fine, and to start truly living, welcome home. So, we are one decision away from a completely different life. And we know this, Kat, don't we? Because we've very nearly missed it many times. So today's episode is straight from our hearts. And it's going to be a powerful one, guys. So buckle up. On Friday, where did we find ourselves, Kat?
Friday, just reflecting on how different a Friday evening looks for me now, how it may have looked a few years ago, yeah, especially being alcohol free. 8 p.m. Friday evening, we were online on a Zoom call, ready to be guests on a podcast from a guy that we didn't really know too much about or what the setup was. And we found ourselves not just us in this room, there was another layer of surprise to it. There were two other world leaders in this room. So, yeah, do you want to kind of explain how we got there, Charlotte? Because that's quite,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So we had an email, didn't we? And I was like, obviously, you get so many emails, don't you, at times? And you're like, you're kind of thinking, it sounds awful to say what's real, what's not, we do get some junk, don't we? And like, you have to kind of decipher. And this email came through and it just really caught my eye. Wonderful guy, really lovely email, an opportunity to be on his podcast. A podcast we've not heard of, a podcast we know nothing about, a guy, like you say, who at the time we knew nothing about either. But the warmth kind of jumped out on his email. And I obviously like touched base with you, didn't I? And I was like, well, what do you think? And we were like, yeah, let's go for it. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. So we obviously got booked in, didn't we? And life was getting a little bit busy because we're mid as well. This is mid summer holidays, like as we're coming to you right now. And yeah, life was busy. And if we are being really honest with you guys, we could have very easily said no, couldn't we, Kat? We could have gone, this is not really what we need to be doing right now. Like, yeah, I'm not sure whether we've kind of got the time for this and all of that. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely. That is the wholehearted truth of it, isn't it? The opportunity arose. We did a little bit due diligence as you do, checking out is this a real podcast? And we found that it
Yeah.
was. And we just thought, well, we'll just go with it. Like Charlotte said, we've got nothing to lose. But then it came to Friday. It was a glorious day. I was spending time with our families. And full transparency, there's these feelings inside where you're like, 8 p.m. on a Friday. And just kind of this almost a bit of hesitation. Do we follow through on it? And blooming hell, are we glad we did.
We really are. So we headed up, didn't we, into I headed up. I'm always up in the little top room, aren't I, upstairs? And you logged on as well. And yeah, we had that wonderful surprise of it not just being us in that room. And yeah, there was five of us, which was incredible. And I think, well, when I logged on, there was certainly nerves when I realized it wasn't just us. And I was thinking, oh my goodness, where have we landed? And it was obviously just a new setup, a different thing. Like, we're obviously told how it's going to be, like, the kind of recording, what we need to do, how we need to speak a little bit, just so that obviously the conversation flows. And yeah, there was a really good structure to it. But also with that came a little bit of, oh my goodness. And anyway, we logged on and obviously did this. And like you say, how glad we are that we followed through and did that. And I think it's really important to share all these kind of phases of this, because how many opportunities do we get in life where something comes up, but then life can easily get in the way and take us off course. But what I love to look at is when that email first came in, it felt different. I felt the pull to go, I feel like we're meant to be there for some reason. I don't know why. It doesn't necessarily make sense. But yeah, like something obviously made me reply and go for that. So following through on that, I think is so, so key. And we both experienced a real, just a lot of connection and a lot of personal growth ourselves, right? I think it was a real moment for us to put ourselves out there again in a new way, in a completely new room amongst other incredible people doing incredible things. And personally, to stand in who we are and to use our voices and to not shrink and to rise. And yeah, there was a lot of growth in there, wasn't there?
Huge, huge amounts of growth. And from a very personal perspective, like, so yeah, for me to be in that space where, as you said, we didn't really know the setup. We're in with two other, obviously the host, and then two other strangers who we've literally just met. We don't know their stories. And just to paint the picture as well, guys, the host is from the US, and so were the other two guests. So different time zones. And we were able to connect with them,
Yeah.
because the online world, which is so beautiful. And my palms were sweating. Like, seriously, it was a hot day, a hot evening anyway, but my palms were sweating because it was a full moment of trust. And I've shared this on many podcasts before that since Charlotte and I have met, I have been on this journey to trust my feelings, trust my gut, trust my instincts, and trust my voice, trust that what I'm meant to say will be said in that moment. That I don't need to keep recalling or remembering who I am, what I do in my head, because it is me. So it was massive amounts of growth. And I very, very consciously, and I don't know if I share this with you, Charlotte, at the start of that call, when Yama was kind of going through the setup, how it's going to pan out, the style we were going for in terms of the recording, and just sat there thinking, well, I don't know who these other two people are. And all of a sudden you put people in kind of like, well, where are they at in their chapter, in their growth? They're so much further ahead, and like, oh, am I going to feel intimidated? And all these worries come flushing in. But I made a conscious decision to go, it's okay. I'm
Yeah.
good. I'm the expert in me and what I
Yeah.
do. And I was really consciously connecting with that, and I was breathing. I was doing some hypnobirthing.
Yeah.
But I was really, really regulating my
Yeah.
breath inside, because I felt the palpitations and the not panic, but those nerves creep in. So it was a conscious decision to calm myself in that moment. And rather than start to think about, what am I going to say? How am I going to introduce myself? Who am I? What, all these places that our minds run to, I was consciously going, right, just trust, just
Yeah.
allow, just be. And that was major growth. So that was just a beautiful extra bit, to the bigger picture and what we want to share today on. You touched on, Charlotte, how we sometimes miss these opportunities, or say no to them, or miss them. And I know we kind of want to elaborate on the bigger lesson here that we've learned.
Absolutely. And there was a moment in that call where my light was going down and down and down. And it? So
Charlotte was
basically,
disappearing into the
I
darkness, guys, because it was a video recording as well. And obviously, we started at 8 p.m., where it's still relatively light, but we were losing daylight, and
mm.
Charlotte was disappearing into the
And
dark.
I think it's because I've not done any calls up here in the evening for a little bit. I mustn't have done, because I was
Yeah.
like, the light went fast. I was like, yeah, the times are changing. Um, and I was like, oh, I need to turn it. So I was thinking, I need to turn this light on. And then obviously you put it in the chat, and he was like, Charlotte, you're disappearing or whatever. And yeah, so I went and I voiced it, and I went and turned that light on. And there was a moment in there that kind of just well, we'll share this episode with you and maybe drop it in the show notes as well. But it just unearthed me talking, well, me trusting my voice actually, and me trusting myself. Actually, that's okay. Because I kind of touched on Charlotte a few years ago would have really sat there and gone, oh my gosh, I'm losing the light. I would have been so focused on the light and worrying about how I was going to fix it that I would have lost myself and like lost my confidence. And actually, it was this real rising of just get up and go and turn the light on, and then come and sit back down and pick up your voice where you last left off. And it really led me kind of into the story really that we want to share today, which was when we both very, very nearly missed a huge opportunity, didn't we? Because of fear and all those things that you just said, really. And that was kind of a moment in time where we were both feeling really stuck, really grateful for all that we had, but equally really just unfulfilled. And we were asking that question, is this it? Like, I've done all these things, and is this it now? Is this just life? Is this just all that's meant to be? And I think it's really important to say we were grateful, but there was this fire inside, right? And it led us to going on to a challenge that then led us onto this one Zoom call in particular. It was our first one in this completely brand new space, so very similar, online in a Zoom room. And we both joined. Well, you kind of didn't know what you were doing at the time, did you, Kat?
No, I mean, guys, let's take that to another level. I hadn't got a blooming clue. I was in a state of despair. Let's not play it down. Yeah, we didn't know each other as well. I just thought let's make
Yeah,
that clear. Like Charlotte and I were complete strangers. We don't live locally to each other. There's a good hour and a half drive between us, and we were not in each other's worlds. But yes, we both had embarked on this online challenge. We joined this membership, and we got onto this Zoom call. Both in very different spaces, but on that same journey of is this it? And just hearing you say those words then, Charlotte, there was quite a feeling in my tummy where it took me back to when I was feeling that and just, yeah, just kind of reliving those emotions of like knowing there was more. So many different emotions of like sadness, excitement, and then kind of just kind of almost stopping myself and feeling like, no, just stay where you are because you should. And it just, yeah, I just want to reflect on that because if anyone is feeling like that, just know it's okay to want more. It really, really is, isn't it? And I really had to toy with that for a long time because I felt so guilty because life was fine, life was good externally, someone looking in through the window, oh, she's got it all, she's got it all. And I did, and I do have it all. And I am grateful. But you can't help those feelings, can you? When
mm,
there's more inside. And if you're feeling like you're not fulfilling your potential, and I felt like I was just existing, like the days were on repeat. So yeah, I just wanted to reflect on that feeling that that's okay. And that's a signal. And that's a beautiful thing about this work, isn't it? It's being so in tune and hearing that and feeling it and going,
yeah,
well, I've got a choice and I don't have to stay there. So we didn't. We moved out of that. And
yeah.
yes, we found ourselves in the
On
same
this
Zoom
call.
room.
Yeah, yeah, and probably for different, actually, a different kind of there was different fears surrounded that because you kind of got the business identity down because you were running a business, right? So you had that, but you didn't know what you were doing. I had a little seed of an idea, but I did not have the business identity at all. Like I felt like a very, very small fish in a very big pond, and my mind was going to, I'm in a room with loads of successful business women, and I'm not even one of them. I'm not even like, kind of a lot going on there that kind of push. So a lot of very different fears, which is really interesting, isn't it? But we we're both in that same Zoom room and we got asked to pitch our business within 2 minutes. and receive feedback in breakout rooms. So that was us going off into, groups of kind of four or five.
Yeah.
And we had to pitch ourselves, pitch our business. And we were both sat in front of those laptops with this whole chunk of fear. And I vividly remember hovering over that end now button. And I was so close to pressing it. I cannot tell you how close I was to pressing it. It was that hovering, no, stay, hovering, stay. And I was in this inner battle of staying where I was or go for it. And there was a little whisper that was coming up inside that just said, just be honest and be yourself and just go into there and say, I haven't got a blooming clue what I'm doing. I've got a little seed of an idea, but I don't know what I'm doing. So I cannot pitch my business, but here I am and I am here to learn. And that is exactly what I did. And who was in that room?
Hi guys. It's
There
your
Cat
new
was.
bestie.
Literally.
I was in that room. And similarly, like you said, we've come from different spaces. Yes, I was running a successful business. So I was game. I was good for all that sort of stuff. And I'd intentionally put myself in that space because I wanted to be with women that were dreaming big, that didn't limit themselves. And I knew I wanted to start a new business. But like Charlotte said, I hadn't got a clue what it looked like. So the fear came from a different space, from a you're going to pitch your business. And I'm sat there going, you kidding me? I've been scratching my head for months, guys, on what the new business is. And now you're telling me I've got to go pitch it to a room of strangers who I've never even met before and I don't even know what it is. Like, that's scary stuff. But I knew I had to do it. I
Mm,
knew I had to go in and, like what Charlotte said, be my authentic self, tell the truth. That's one of my values. It's honesty, because I can't go wrong with that, because I'm here to
mm,
learn. I'm not here to pretend I've got it all mapped out and I'm a polished, finished article. I'm here to go, guys, I'm in this space because I'm going to be inspired by you. And I'm here to explore, I'm here to discover, I'm here to create my next new biggest idea. And that's my pitch. And I can't wait to figure it out and learn in a space with you other incredible women as we rise together. And I had to do it because I didn't want to stay where I was anymore. I didn't want to stay where I was anymore, in this pattern of stuckness, in this existing, in this knowing that if I don't do this now, or whatever it looked like, I'm gonna stay here feeling these feelings, and I'm gonna head one way, and that's to regret. That's to dying, like, sorry to take it to this place, but that's to being on my deathbed and going, I wish I'd have just bloody gone for it. And I didn't want that. I didn't want that for me. I didn't want that for my family. I wanted to, I want to show my girls every day. I know we eat, sleep, and breathe all that we do, not just for ourselves, but for our girls, for our families, for our kids, to show them, not just tell them, go after it, go be yourself, go do the things, follow your heart. Like, we walk the walk, don't we? And it was important that I followed through, and that I acknowledge that fear is part of the journey. And
yeah.
fear wants me to stay stuck. That's what it breeds off. That's what it thrives off. That's what it's going, yeah, I've got you stuck, baby. But I'm gonna like, no,
Love it.
you're coming with me, and I'm gonna show you a new way, until you kind of morph and change fear until it becomes a new comfortable. And then I know you're gonna pop back again when I'm stepping out of the comfort zone. Like,
Yeah.
this is the evolution. And I know, Charlotte, you've shared this many a time, that this myth that we're not meant to be scared. That I'm
Mm,
not scared brushing my teeth in the morning because I know what I'm doing. But am I
mm,
scared jumping onto an 8 p.m. Zoom call with three strangers from the US that are world leaders, and go and declare myself in that space and going, I'm enough to be here?
yeah.
Hey, fear pops back up. And I'm not going to let it stop me. I'm going, come on, let's strap you into the passenger seat and let's do it
Yeah,
again.
let's go again. Let's go
Oh,
again.
honestly, I feel like I could burst into tears right now with just this feeling of just go for it.
Mm, yeah, because why not?
Why
Why
not?
not? And why not you? Why not you? And yeah, gosh, the fear side, like my thought was, I'm an adult. I shouldn't be scared. Wrong.
Wrong.
Absolutely wrong. Like, if we're scared, we're growing, we're unlocking something new, we're getting to where we want to go.
Mm,
Like, it is the greatest indicator that we're actually moving and that we're actually thriving and that we're actually doing the things that we want to do. And I remember the quote, get comfortable with being uncomfortable right at the beginning of my journey. And that's it. And I think when you start to unearth that and when you start to live in the uncomfort, you start to kind of get a little bit addicted to it. We've spoken about this before, but I'm like, right, I'm getting a bit comfortable now. What can I do next?
yeah,
Like, what's coming
totally.
next? And
Totally.
I think Friday was really that kind of unearthing for us that we've got to put ourselves in more spaces. We've got to get out there in bigger ways because that felt good. Like that felt kind of like what we've been wanting, right? But maybe we've just not been doing the things to get ourselves into those spaces. We've not been saying yes, we've not been using that one decision to go, right, boom, this is different. This is, you know, and another way that I love, love, love to look at it. And I think this is what kind of whenever I come up against any resistance or life comes in the way, I just see every opportunity as an opening of a door that we don't know where it's going to. And that gets to be exciting. And our body doesn't know the difference between anxiousness and excitement. And this has been a huge part of my journey is choosing excitement over feeling anxious and feeling scared. And just stepping into that curiosity and that, oh, I just don't know where this could go. And almost that is a very, well, that's a very magnetic energy anyway, isn't it? For obviously receiving and stepping into opportunities. But it really serves in those moments. It really helps you to move forward because we don't know where that door is going to lead. And I don't want to, like you, get to, my 90s, hopefully my hundreds, and regret anything and have any closed doors. Like, closed doors are not a part of my story, period. Like, if I'm
Doors are
okay with
open.
it, yeah. If I'm okay with, like, and it's a feeling, right? It's not saying that I'm burning myself out opening door after door after door and like, but it's going, if I feel this door is meant for me, I'm blooming going to open it wide and see what's on the other side. And nothing's getting in my way of that.
I love that. And it's a shift on the what if game, isn't it?
Mm,
Sometimes we can play, oh, what if it doesn't work? What if it's wrong? This kind of negative imagination. But what if it's the best thing we ever did? And I will make the claim that going into that Zoom room and meeting you was one of the best things I ever did because I cannot wait to get out of bed in the mornings.
yeah,
I am so excited. I, I'm chuckling because I missed a 3 a.m. coaching call the other morning that we're working with an incredible coach and she's over in Australia and it was our kickoff call and Charlotte made it and I didn't for various
mm,
reasons due to my alarm and yeah all that jazz and I woke up with a start, didn't I? I started at like 5 a.m. and I voice noted you. I was like, I could just burst into tears right now because I missed this call. I was so gutted. But I just wanted to share that because setting my alarm before I went to bed to get up for 3 a.m. When else do we do that? We typically do that if we're going off on holiday, right? And the feelings getting up, if I had have got up at 3 a.m. to do that coaching call was the same feeling as going on holiday. And that's my work.
yeah,
That's my job. That's what I do 40 whatever hours a week. And I
yeah.
blooming love it. And it doesn't feel like work. So
Mm,
I've lost my train of thought here, to be honest, why I'm going into this. But Oh yeah, that was it. It was going into that room. It was one of the best decisions I've ever made because I now get to live from
Yeah.
this space of excitement and energy, and what I do lights me up. Don't get me
And
wrong,
you
I'm human, and we have moments where things are a little harder, but yeah, it could just be the best thing ever, couldn't it?
you really could. And you kind of said this as well, like when we are on holiday and a lot of people talk about like the holiday blues, and we're like really excited to get home and work again.
I
But
know.
this is
It's
our
bad, isn't
belief.
it?
No,
It's
because
not
this
bad.
is
It's not bad. I don't know why I say it's bad. It's the best fucking thing ever, guys, and it's
because
available to everyone.
we're like, for us, success is being excited at literally like 9:52 on a Tuesday. To me, that's when you've made it. Like, if you can get excited at 9:52 on a random Tuesday, you are doing exactly what you are meant to be doing in life. Like, and everybody gets to experience that. Everybody. Like, if we find that purpose, find that thing that we're meant to do, like, yes, there's parts of the journey. Yes, it takes time to build. Yes, successful people have to cling on until
When
you
everyone else
feel
lets
like
go, you've got to hang on, guys. You've
you
got to hang on.
have got to hang on. You have got to hang on, and a lot more hanging on than I thought was going
Yes.
to entail. Not gonna lie.
Like dig the
Um,
nails in, dig the nails
oh,
in.
literally, and there's been times where a hand has slipped and I've had to go
Yeah, 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 yeah.
back again. But like, it's possible. I genuinely believe it's possible for anybody to do. Like, if you feel it, like you are meant to do it, period.
And
That's
on
it.
that hanging on, it's when you want it enough.
Mm, yeah,
It's when your reason why is so much bigger than you.
yeah,
That's when you'll dig your nails in and hang
hmm
on.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, it's a journey. But when I look back, I'm like, every part of it has been needed to get us here, right? And I love that about life, like divine timing. Like, obviously kind of the kind of topic of this podcast today is you're one decision away from a completely different life. And you are. You're not behind, you're not too late. Like, you are in exactly the right point in time that you are meant to be. And there is a decision that is going to crop up that is there for you to make that's different, that's going to open a door, that's going to propel you into your next chapter, that is going to energize you. It's going to excite you. It's going to be like, ah, I've needed all of this because I was waiting for this. And I've decided now, like, I've opened that door wide and look where it's taken me. So, yeah, it is our belief we are always one decision away from a completely new life and a completely new chapter, completely new level. Sometimes we'll be like, maybe we're building something and we do this. This was for us on Friday, right? It was that next level. It was that unlocking of something that we hadn't got and that we were wanting, that deeper connection, that being in a room with, like you say, other world leaders. Like, wow. So yeah, just to kind of bring that back to it. So we've got something exciting, haven't we, Kat?
We have. Like, can you see me sat here like the Cheshire Cat? Do you know what? I've got a new descriptive feeling for the feelings inside. It's like popping candy. That's how I'm feeling,
Oh,
like fizzing, like popping
yes.
candy. That's how excited I
Yeah.
am because this episode is going out on launch day, isn't
Mhm.
it? Launch day of what, Charlotte?
Your next chapter. Your next chapter. A 12-week journey for you to create the life that you were meant for. Like, this is what we wish we had
We built it for you guys.
right at the beginning. Like, oh my goodness, this would have kickstarted us and got us on the right path in an instant. And there's been so many elements to both of our journeys, right? It's been the, kind of handling the fear. It's been the getting back in connection with who we truly are. It's been learning to take the bigger steps, but also the steps that are aligned and in the right direction because we know ourselves so well. And then it's kind of added all the tools that really propel you forward and mean that you don't have to wait or, kind of, you don't have to go through a load of stuff before you experience the success. Like we have poured every piece of our journey into this 12-week journey that is going to have you living your next chapter. And I hope you can feel the energy of just like, we have been building this behind the scenes for a long time. And I think actually we've needed all the parts of our journey to blooming well build this because every part has been needed to create it. And it's launch day. It's launch
It's
day.
launch day. It's launch day. And just touching on what you've just said, like we have poured everything, every learning, every lesson, every teaching, every tool. And it's the divine timing. Like it wasn't meant to come out before. It's meant to come out now because we're giving you everything. It is the foundation. It's everything you could need to shift out of feeling like you're just existing. You're in your is this it era and you know you're made for more. And this is your permission to claim it and to write your next chapter because you don't have to live in a chapter that you've outgrown.
Yeah.
And we get to see that as us claiming back and grabbing back that pen and writing our most exciting chapter yet.
Yeah. Oh, we're excited for this.
So how can
the
next steps be taken to jump on your next chapter today? We'll drop them in the show notes.
Yes, let's drop them in the show notes. Sorry, I thought you were going to leave me in there.
It was a bit of a linger, wasn't it? It was like I'm posing a question, but in a very cryptic way. So, for those of you that are listening and you're like, oh my gosh, girls, can't believe you created this for me, jump in the show notes.
Yeah.
Come and join us. We'll pop the link. And just know we are only ever a DM away on Instagram at the Authentic Girls Club. Come and have that conversation and write your next chapter.
And the beautiful thing is I can feel it already, like the women that are going to say yes to this and that have probably already decided, because I think when you feel like someone, you just have to like listen to something like this, right? And when you feel it and you know it, you know it. By the end of these next 3 months, so before 2025 is done, those chapters that are going to have already been written, put up into the stars and just claimed, I can just feel it. I can see it. And it's so much more than living your dreams. It is finding yourself again, finding exactly what you're meant for and blooming well doing it and not letting anything stop you. So yeah, it is an action-packed 12 weeks and we cannot wait. So all the details will be in the show notes, guys. Head to those, click the link. And as Kat said, we are only ever a DM away and you are only ever one decision away from a completely different life, one that feels like you again. So sending our love and we will speak to you all really, really soon.
See you on the inside, guys. Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
What if today was the last day you ever woke up and thought, is this it? You were not born to settle. And in 1 hour inside Wake Up Excited, we'll prove it to you. Wake Up Excited is a free masterclass for the woman who is ready to stop settling and start living life on her terms. In just 60 minutes, you are going to rewrite the story you're living by and reignite the spark that makes you wake up excited again. Your next chapter doesn't start someday. It starts the moment you choose it. And if this conversation lit something up inside of you, this is your moment. The link is waiting for you in the show notes and we cannot wait to see you there.